There's birds in our house.
No, don't say that. There are no birds in our house. Hey everyone, welcome to my update. I'm Pastor Paul Hennings. Thanks for joining me. I want to just say a big thank you first and foremost to everyone who has submitted their commitment cards to St. Mark's for next year. We're going to talk for the last time today about those commitment cards. We ask that they are into church by this Sunday. Of course, we will take them later, but that really helps out for our planning. You can always submit them via mail or bring them in the office, or you can go online to stmarkscr.org/commitment. Let us know your financial commitment for next year. I'm going to talk about that one last time today. I'm going to talk about generosity and cookies. But I just want to encourage you, if you haven't had time to look at that and to send that in, please go ahead and do that. Thank you to everyone who has already submitted their commitment cards. Next year, starting in January, I just want you to know, we're going to talk about spiritual and physical health in my updates. And so I'll have some guests with me, so just keep your eyes open for that at the beginning of next year. I'll have one last update next week before Christmas, and then I'll take a little bit of a break, and I'll see you in the new year. But today, I want to talk about generosity and sacrificial giving. I want you for a second with me, just imagine you have a plate of cookies, your favorite cookies in the entire world, and you give some of those cookies away to somebody else. That's what we call generosity. Those cookies aren't coming back. People are going to eat them. You're not going to all of a sudden magically see your cookies return, unless, of course, you bake some more. Now, I think most of us treat our finances like this. We have a certain amount of cookies, and if we give any of it away, we know it's not coming back. And that is in itself true. The only solution to that is to make some more money. This is why when we talk about generosity, it's sacrificial. And we talk about sacrificial giving and generosity in the same thought process. Generosity always requires some kind of sacrifice. And I have not, in 15 years of ministry, figured out how to sell this to anybody outside of saying, when you give, you have to sacrifice. And I guess the reason that I haven't been able to sell it in any other way, for example, give a lot of money, God will give you more, do really good things, God will bless you. The reason I haven't been able to say that is because that's not what Scripture says. When we give, it's out of sacrifice. This is what the Apostle Paul says in 2 Corinthians 9. This service that you perform is not only supplying the needs of God's people, but it is also overflowing in many expressions of thanks to God. Because of the service by which you have proved yourselves, men will praise God for the obedience that accompanies your confession of the gospel of Christ and for your generosity in sharing with them and with everyone else. And in their prayers for you, their hearts will go out to you because of the surpassing grace God has given you. Thanks be to God for his indescribable gift. Did you hear how Paul ended that? He talked about God's indescribable gift. What is that gift? Well, as we approach Christmas right now, we know from Paul's writings that gift is the gift of Jesus Christ. You see, God had to sacrifice his one and only Son so that we could have the greatest gift of all. God understands generosity. God knows that it costs us. And so when God calls God's people to be generous, when Paul thanks the people here in Corinth for being generous, for giving, he understands that it's sacrifice. I understand that too. And so I want to encourage you one last time. Think about your commitment to St. Mark's this next year. I know it requires sacrifice. I know that those cookies don't magically reappear. But I just want to encourage you, think about the sacrifice that God has made for you when you think about your sacrifice for the church. Thank you for doing that. Now, I'm going to teach you a recipe called Angel Crisp Cookies, and Theo's going to help me out. Check it out. Ho, ho, ho. Merry Christmas. Well, we're here in my kitchen. I've got Theo here. Theo, would you like to say anything to everybody?
Yeah, if you want to zoom in, this is Snoopy's, and Toby just like he doesn't really like it. He like sucks on the red thing, but I don't know why.
That's not
and
good.
this is Snoopy, and if you see this yellow thing, that's Woodstock.
That's pretty cool. And we love seeing the hot air balloons around Cedar Rapids, don't we? It's pretty cool. And what do you know about Papa?
He's been on a hot air balloon.
That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. We're here to teach you how to make Angel Crisp cookies. And so let me start off with the ingredient list. This is what you're gonna need for these cookies. You're gonna need a half a cup of butter. You're gonna need a half a cup of shortening, so like Crisco shortening. Half a cup of white sugar, half a cup of brown sugar, 1 egg, 1 teaspoon vanilla, 2 cups flour, half a teaspoon of salt, 1 teaspoon of soda, 1 teaspoon cream of tartar. So pretty easy ingredient list here, and we're going to start off by mixing up our butter and shortening. You want to stir this up? Go for it. Yeah, sometimes it's not easy, is it? It's kind of the toughest part of making all of this. You're doing good though.
It's like attached to it.
Yeah. So while he's stirring that, let me give you the instructions. You're going to cream sugar and shortening. You're going to add your beaten egg and vanilla. You're going to mix in all the dry ingredients. And that's it.
I want to have.
How simple is that? That's what you're going to do, but then you're going to want to let it cool for about a half an hour. So we're going to mix it all together. We're going to let it cool for a half an hour, then I'll give you the rest of the instructions. So the first thing you do is you add all the sugar and the butter and shortening. You ready for the sugar, buddy?
Yeah.
All right. All right, stir that up. Pretty simple base to these cookies. The biggest difference with these cookies is that you're going to dip them in water and coat them with sugar later on, but we'll get to that in a minute. How are we doing, buddy?
Good.
This is kind of tough. You want me to help you out a little bit? You got it? Okay. All right. Keep it up. Keep it up. Can I crack the egg and throw it in there?
Yeah.
Might as well. Let's just throw it all together. Really? Enough beating of everything and it'll work just fine, right?
The sun is cracking out.
I hope there are no shells that go in here. Isn't that terrible? Oh, we did good. All right. Go for it, buddy. Stir it up.
They don't eat a shell,
Yeah. You don't want to eat a shell, do you?
right?
That's right. That's right. You got
To
it.
show you. You might hurt your throat.
It might hurt your throat. You're right. That's good. Now we're going to add just half a teaspoon of vanilla. You want to smell this? It smells good, doesn't it?
Okay, then don't pour it in yet.
Oh, you don't. Oh, how's that smell?
Why does it taste like this if I take it out?
Yeah, kind of sugary and kind of buttery and kind of. How was it? Oh, no, not too much. Okay. Yep. All right.
It's good.
Does it? Oh my goodness. I'm gonna give you a little bit of this flour. All right, stir that up, Lee. All right, go
Oh,
for
it's
it.
like a huge mountain.
There we go, like that. And then we'll add, so this is the flour, and then remember you've got salt and baking soda and cream of tartar in there. Okay, go for it, buddy. Yeah. There goes the bird clock. There it is. Yes. Go ahead, tell him. You can tell him.
There's birds in our house.
No, don't say that. There are no birds in our house. What do we have, though?
A bird clock.
A bird clock. That's
Like-
true. That's true. Do you know the story of how we ever started having a bird clock? I got one. I got one from Ellie's grandma. Yeah. So from that point on, we ended up having a bird clock.
How old is that bird clock?
I think that one's kind of new, Theo, because the other ones went kaput. Okay, this is looking fantastic. Nice sugar cookie kind of base.
Yeah, it smells good.
Does it smell good? I don't know if I'd eat this either. It might be all right. But what we're going to do now is we are going to let this chill for about a half an hour. It just helps you roll out the cookies a little bit better, and we'll be right back. All right, here we are ready to roll the cookie dough out, and this is how we're going to do this. We're going to roll them into the cookie dough into little balls, and then we're going to dip it into water, half of it into water. We're going to do that. Oh, you're going to tell us? What are you going to tell us?
You can put them in each one of these sugars. You mostly have to put them in the white sugar. You could put white sugar.
Sugar.
White sugar and green sugar, and then red sugar.
Yeah. So this actually, the recipe just calls for white sugar. But you can use obviously different colors since it's Christmas time. There you go, you can use that one, buddy. And so you dip half the cookie into water, and then you dip that half into sugar. And then you place it sugar side up on the cookie tray, cookie sheet, and you bake it at 350 degrees for 10 minutes. Here's another one, buddy. Now let me tell you the story behind these cookies. So my parents celebrated their 50th anniversary this summer, and when Ellie and I and the boys were down there, my mom had made these cookies, and I don't remember them certainly from my childhood. And I asked her, where is this from? And she said she discovered the recipe, and so I grabbed it from her. The kids, devoured these cookies. They couldn't keep their hands off them. And so I got the recipe, and I wanted to share it with you because they are pretty fun little sugar cookies, and unique because of the water, the way the sugar's going to bake on that water, on that top of the cookie where you put water on it. That was a complicated sentence. All right, how are we doing, buddy? We're good? Okay, well, this is what we're going to do. We're going to fill up this sheet with these cookies. We're going to bake them at 350 for 10 minutes, and we'll be right back. All right, well, we've made our Angel Crisp cookies, and you'll notice how they have that interesting pattern on the top of them because of the water, and they are delicious. We made them in red, green, and white.
Like Angel toilet paper.
Angel toilet paper? You're talking about Angel soft toilet paper? Wow, well, there you have it. Well, I hope you have enjoyed our cooking shows this holiday season. We did this just to bring some joy into your life. Hopefully some recipes that you can make at your home and enjoy all around this Christmas season. God's blessings to you, and Merry Christmas.